Welcome to Lesson 7 of the Porn Conversation Curriculum and Activity Guide. Today, we're going to talk about porn literacy. But before you watch this video, pause here and go visit the Center for Media Literacy website to find out more about media literacy. You'll find the link in Lesson 7 of your Curriculum and Activity Guide. Media is anything you consume that's created to send a message to you, the intentional audience. Media comes in different forms, like social media, TV, or magazines. The type of media you consume could be things like videos, memes, podcasts, newspapers, or blogs. We're all exposed to media every day, whether it's an advertisement on YouTube or a billboard or on the street. Media is made to shape our perceptions by sending us messages, from what's the latest in fashion to what's new in music. Media has the ability to influence and shape the way we think and feel, sometimes about our own bodies, and that can have an effect on our self-esteem. The truth is, all media messages are creatively designed to make you feel an emotion. Ask yourself something. If you follow a page that continuously makes you feel bad about yourself, what do?
You should consider unfollowing the person.
The page.
Whether it's a product, a person, a certain body type, or an idea, it's good to pay attention to the messages in the media you consume and how it's influencing you. Then you have the power to decide if you want to engage with this media. Pornography is a form of sexualized media. It's also designed to send specific messages to its audience. Free online porn is the most easily accessible pornography on the internet. There are websites where you can find unlimited amounts of adult content for free. Whether someone finds free online porn intentionally or not, for a lot of people, it's their first exposure to sex. It's almost impossible to avoid being exposed to online pornography. Many people run into free online porn at a young age by just accidentally coming across it. It can happen when you least expect it, like when you're doing a Google search, scrolling through social media, or you're bombarded with a random pop-up. By the way, do you know what happens when you click on a pop-up that may have sexualized media on it?
It can give your device a virus.
Yes, and worse than that, you've just agreed to a hostile takeover of your phone or your computer or your emotions or your mind.
What?
Wait, what? How?
Whether this pop-up is porn or not, its goal is to take your attention. It wants to make you feel a certain emotion so it can sell you a product or an idea. Consider this. When a pop-up interrupts you online, how does it make you feel? What emotion pops up in you? The main goal of free online porn is entertainment, not education. Although free online porn offers consumers real pleasure from watching it, it's still based in fantasy. Sexual experiences in real life aren't the same. Most free online porn leaves out all the various ages, genders, and sexual orientations we find in real life. It can lead to misunderstanding what healthy sex and respectful relationships are supposed to even look like. This is why porn literacy is important. Porn literacy is a type of media literacy. Media literacy is an educational framework that gives you the ability to access, analyze, and evaluate media in a variety of forms. Porn literacy works in a similar way. By using the same core concepts and questions from media literacy, we can critically examine and make sense of the sexual images we're exposed to in free online porn. The main goal of porn literacy is for you to have the ability to critique porn and create your own meaning from the content you consume. Media literacy starts with 5 key questions. 1. Who created this message? 2. What creative techniques are used to attract my attention? 3. How might different kinds of people understand this message in different ways? 4. What values, lifestyles, and points of view are represented in this message? And what's being left out? And 5, why is this message being sent? What are some messages the media sends about bodies? In the media, you may notice that certain body types are presented as attractive, like the filtered and edited influencers on Instagram who all have similar body types. These images influence consumers who see these images celebrated with likes, comments, and follows. That makes them seek out this body image for themselves or for their partner. It can add a lot of unnecessary pressure, and it's not realistic. All bodies are worthy of love and pleasure, no matter what size, shape, or ability. What are some messages the media sends about consent and boundaries? In the media, you'll notice that consent is not usually discussed, and personal boundaries are often crossed. How many times have you seen someone navigating consent during a kiss or sex scene on Netflix? They often skip the most essential part of a sexual experience, asking and giving consent. Never mind what you find in the media. Know that you can create your own boundaries around what feels good to you, or not. Everyone has the right to have their boundaries respected. With every person, communication and consent must be practiced before, during, and after any type of physical touch, especially the sexual kind. What are some messages the media sends about sex? Unlike what you see in the media, sex does not always have to include penetration and does not always end in an orgasm. And unlike what you see in the media, there are also safer sex practices that should be established for you and your partner in your relationships, if and or when you decide to have sex. These include STI testing and using contraceptives and barrier methods, like internal or external condoms. Sexual behaviors vary, so communicating with a partner and giving and receiving consent is really the only way to have safer, more pleasurable sexual experiences. What are some messages the media sends about racism and the fetishization of Black, Indigenous people of color, or BIPOC people?
That is a thing.
That is a thing.
Yeah.
In the media, you may notice the hashtags and content used to describe BIPOC are often racist. For example, when TikTok banned the hashtag Black Lives Matter and shadow banned creators who are fighting for social and racial injustices. There's a lot of racial terms and hate speech in the media that perpetuates harmful stereotypes and behaviors towards Black, Indigenous people of color. Every person, no matter what race, deserves love and respect. What are some messages the media sends about women? In the media, you'll notice that many of the images of girls and women are created to attract heterosexual men. It sends the message that looking sexy or attractive is incompatible with other traits like being athletic and intelligent. In any kind of relationship, women are just as worthy of respect as men, whether that relationship is sexual or not. Like an influencer's social media profile or a photo shoot of your favorite artist, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes in free online porn. Things that are not noticeable to the consumers. Knowing what happens off camera helps you separate the facts from the fantasy. The people you see in porn are called performers. They negotiate contracts and get paid for what they do. They never show the conversations around consent that happen between the actors before, during, and after the scenes. Safer sex strategies are often not seen on screen. These include contraceptives and sexually transmitted infection testing before and after filming. There are filming techniques like lighting, directing, and camera angles that create each video and ad, etc. Editing is used to make the scenes shorter. They don't show foreplay or communication between the performers. There are some performers who use medication to keep an erection for the entire scene. Performers film scenes throughout a period of time that allows for bathroom, water, and food breaks. We don't see the awkward scenes or bloopers that will be edited out of the final cut. Remember, free online porn is not education. It's entertainment. Now I want you to go to your curriculum and activity guide and check out the answers to some frequently asked questions about porn. Then do the homework activity too. We'll see you next time in the final lesson.
Bye.
Huh?
Huh?